Well, reporter Patrick Aboud told us that there's a mountain in Indonesia where thousands of pilgrims gather several times a year for ritual sex sessions. Well, we weren't quite sure what to think. So we sent him off with his camera to find out more. And after his trek to Java's Mount Kemukus, this is what he came back with.
Married men
kan kadang pakai ini kan, pakai kondom.
Cheating housewives, government officials and prostitutes. Most consider themselves devout Muslims, reveling in a mass ritual of adultery and sex. Welcome to Gunung Kemukus, otherwise known as Mardia runs a humble market stall in a Javanese coastal town. She rarely leaves her village. But she's travelled hours to be here today at Sex Mountain.
Kalau aku datang sini, teman cari rezeki.
She's one of thousands of Indonesian pilgrims who travel to Central Java every month or so. They believe the magical powers of this mountain will make them rich. Mardia's husband passed away 5 years ago and she's struggled since financially. She's hoping divine intervention will help.
Kalau aku dapat rezeki, alhamdulillah bisa nyarutang.
We're going with her to make sense of this mysterious custom. On face value, it would seem to be an ancient tradition riddled with contradictions. Mardia's calling a man she's hooked up with on previous trips to see if he's here again. Tonight is her lucky night.
Halo.
Biasanya itu loh yang di depan makom.
Parman agrees to meet Mardia at the shrine on top of the mountain later. The shrine where this religious sex ritual began. Back in the 16th century, Javanese legend has it, Prince Samudera had an affair with his stepmother. They ran away and hid here on this mountain, Gunung Kemukus. But one day, while mid-coitus, they were caught and killed. They were buried here, and the story goes, you must have sex on the mountain every 35 days. Repeat that process 7 times, and blessings and wealth should come your way. You won't see this ritual anywhere else in Indonesia or the rest of the Muslim world. It's a very Javanese blend of religious ideals with Islamic, Hindu and Buddhist influences. Many of these pilgrims come from poor villages, like Gepeng. He's a timber yard labourer and lives 300 kilometres from the mountain. He's married and has 2 children. There's a communal feast in his village today. Gepeng and his mates are eating up big before their long journey ahead to Sex Mountain.
Kalau di situ itu cari pasangan lain, bukan orang rumah gitu loh. Sejarahnya kan gitu.
The men lie to their wives, telling them they'll be away working for the weekend.
Ya, diem-diem aja, istri nggak bakalan tahu. Pinter-pinter aja.
This woman's keeping her husband busy at home all weekend, warning if he was ever to cheat.
Ayo gini tonjokin gitu, nggak boleh kalau tahu gitu.
It's hard to know whether these men are in it for the religion, the supposed riches, or simply the raunch.
Nah aku, rono kan aku senengnya karaoke tok, gak seneng ngono-ngono.
Ya kita itu ya sudah percaya sama Allah, tapi kan berusaha supaya hidupnya itu agak enak itu loh.
The men set off on scooters to seek their fortune. They arrive at sunset, when the mountain comes alive. Excitement builds, floating begins. There's karaoke and entertainment. Aphrodisiacs for sale. Warungs or sex shacks line the hillside. But before the fun, there are a couple of important steps that must be completed. First, prayers and offerings are made at the grave. Rather than praying to Allah, today Mardia is praying to the adulterous Prince Samudera. Then pilgrims must wash themselves at sacred springs. Once that's done, it's time for sex. Mardia disappears to find Parman. Yuli owns this makeshift motel that doubles as a sex shack and karaoke lounge. She rents out the rooms during ritual time, and it's a thriving business.
Ya, alhamdulillah lancar, sudah membaik. Ya.
She attributes her success to the fact she completed the ritual years ago.
Saya Islam. Boleh, sedangkan Tuhan aja ngasih kesempatan kita melakukan ibarat dosa, kesalahan yang seburuk, sefatal apapun bisa dibenahi.
There's hundreds of little back rooms like this on the mountain for rent. In this space here, there's about 20 rooms, 10 on either side. They're all occupied at the moment, apart from the one that I'm rested up against and the one opposite me. There's women with hijabs walking in, Muslim men wearing their headpieces, walking in and out.
Jadi ada sesuatu yang sangat aneh, sangat paradoks. Ya, ada masjid yang ada di situ, tapi sekitarnya adalah tempat untuk melakukan perselingkuhan. Doa-doanya pun juga amin 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 juga dengan doa-doa agama Islam gitu.
Professor Kunjoro has been studying Sex Mountain for more than 30 years.
Memang hipokrit gitu loh.
Government authorities are loath to admit there is sex going on here. The gatekeeper employed to oversee the mountain ritual is adamant the sex is not compulsory.
Itu bukan yang menyuruh Pak Juru Kunci syaratnya ziarah sini harus begitu, enggak. Itu maunya orang itu sendiri. Orang mau ziarah di sini itu kan harusnya hati yang suci, badan yang bersih gitu.
If they can't find a sex buddy, they'll happily pay for one.
Kesan pelacurannya itu yang ini yang kalau menurut saya itu yang perlu dihilangkan. Gitu. Kalau mau misalnya ada perbaikan lagi, itu mau menuju kepada ritual behavior yang impactnya kepada prostitusi boleh, tapi jangan kemudian di situ ini pelacuran yang dilegalkan bertempat di situ.
With more men than women coming here, it's grown to become prime territory for commercial sex workers.
Justru itu memfasilitasi berkembangnya prostitusi di sana.
Behind that red curtain are rooms and girls for hire. I'm not allowed to film here, but I'm wearing a hidden camera. Within minutes, I'm propositioned.
You want this?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So we just go into the room. Do I have to pay her first? How much do I give her? Moments later, I'm invited out back by the girl in yellow. I have to pay her the equivalent of around $30 Australian. We enter a cubicle. She takes her clothes off. I explain I don't want to have sex. She agrees to just talk. And how many men you had today? 7 today. Oh, it's many.
Udah keluarga sendiri, suami nggak ada, rumah sendiri, jadi kan mesti membutuhkan uang.
Do you think it's wrong that Islamic men come to have sex with you?
Yang jelas dia membutuhkan uang, dia membutuhkan
when the men come, do they use condoms? You don't worry that you maybe get sick?
Ya worry sih, iya. Takutnya iya.
Agama Islam melarang. Mereka tidak paham dengan itu. Karena sekarang kepentingannya lebih kepada berat keuntungan, akhirnya yang di sana ditinggal.
The reality is, the local government makes a huge profit from Sex Mountain. They charge the stalls to set up shop, and the pilgrims pay a toll to enter the site. At around 5,000 rupiah, or 50 cents a pop for entry, with up to 10,000 pilgrims coming every 35 days. That's big business in Indonesia. So it's not surprising officials and religious leaders turn a blind eye. At sunrise, you'd be forgiven for thinking nothing happened here. The shrine's closed. And the sex shack's empty. But the working girls are still here.
Ini government persetujuan untuk tes HIV ya, informasi dasar HIV, kegunaan tes HIV.
This community health clinic at the entrance to the mountain is open once a week.
Jadi pekerja-pekerja yang ada di sini sebagian besar sudah terkena infeksi menular seksual.
Dr. Yusinarto has been coming to treat patients for years. He says the religious ritual here is a major contributor to the hike in sexually transmitted diseases.
HIV/AIDS di sini sudah mulai banyak ditemukan juga, dan memang trennya sudah mulai ditemukan naik. Sebenarnya belum diakui, cuman apa itu, yaitu gampangannya tahu.
Mungkin pemerintah itu melarang, tapi dengan sendirinya orang kan datang sendiri dan pemerintah tidak bisa membuat. Bahkan yang terjadi mungkin misalnya Islamic ekstrim ya, sayap yang sangat-sangat ekstrim masuk ke situ. Saya kira ekstrim juga tidak akan bisa, karena begitu masuk di situ dia akan dimusuhi oleh banyak orang yang ada di situ.
Mardia has been in touch to tell me she and Parman have slept together. She admits she'd like to see him away from the mountain as well, but he's married, and his wife isn't happy about their ritual arrangement.
Pokoknya masih punya keluarga, aku serah keberatan ya. Kan kadang-kadang istrinya kan marah-marah kalau.
Memang yang terjadi sometimes, kemudian apabila si perempuan ini falling in love begini, kemudian terjadi ada perselingkuhan dari di tempat yang lain, gitu loh.
It's hard to ignore the glaring contradictions at play here, but these pilgrims place their trust firmly in the custom. Like Mardia, most are convinced Sex Mountain has changed their life for the better.
Ya, alhamdulillah 7 kali itu, walaupun punya utang sedikit-sedikit, udah nyampe. Pada apa aja deh aku jualan, sudah laku, tapi sedikit-sedikit, walaupun sedikit ya, aku alhamdulillah, terima kasih dari sini.
Patrick Aboud there. And there's a blog from Pat about his time on Sex Mountain on our website. Please let us know what you make of it all at sbs.com.au/Dateline.